Hi guys, and welcome to a new video. In today's video I'm going to talk about the iPhone 12 and if it is worth buying now in 2022 or almost 2023. So I got this iPhone 12 right here, and no, it's not new. I bought it a couple of months ago. I already got a case for it, and here it is. This is my background right here. And well, it is pretty good, I gotta be honest with you. But I mean, it's nothing compared to like the new iPhone 14 that just came out a couple of months ago. But I can afford it, but I can compare it to the new iPhone 14, this iPhone 12. So yeah, let's do that. So I'm gonna put the specs all over the screen, and then I'm gonna talk about it, how good this iPhone 12 is compared to the iPhone 14 that we have today. So yeah, let's start doing that. Okay, let's compare the iPhone 12 versus the iPhone 14. Okay, so both phones are 6.1-inch Super Retina XDR displays. Both has emergency SOS, but the iPhone 14 has emergency SOS via satellite, while the iPhone 12 only has regular phone connection. And it also has crash detection, the iPhone 14, which the iPhone 12 doesn't. Okay, let's look at the cameras. So at the 14 we have, at both the 14 and the 15, the 14 and the 12 we have 12 megapixels main ultra-wide cameras and true depth front cameras. But on the iPhone 14 we also have a photonic engine for incredible detail and color, and you also have a autofocus on the front camera, which you don't have on the iPhone 12's front camera. And both have optical zooms up to 0.5 times and 1 times. And the iPhone 14 has 20 hours of video playback battery time, and iPhone 12 has up to 17 hours of video playback time on its battery. Okay, let's look at the chips, the computer chips in the iPhones. In the iPhone 14 we have the A15 Bionic chip, which is a 6-core CPU with also a 5-core CPU, while on the iPhone 12 we have the A14 Bionic chip, which has a 6-core CPU and a 4-core CPU. And both have 16-core neural engines. Both also have 5G and Face ID. And here we come another difference. The iPhone 14 has ceramic shield front, tougher than any smartphone glass, and the iPhone 12 only has regular ceramic shield front. Both are made of aerospace grade aluminum, and both are water resistant up to 6 meters of depth for 30 minutes straight. Both are also compatible with MagSafe accessories such as cases, wallets, wireless chargers and more. And the capacities of the phones are slightly different. The iPhone 14 has a 128GB version, 256GB version and a 512GB version, while the iPhone 12 has a 64GB, 128GB and a 256GB version. Okay, let's look at the resolution of the screens. Both are HDR displays, which with 460 pixels, which is pixels per inch, with a resolution of 1080p or 1170p, and both have a contrast of 2 million to 1, which is pretty good, I would say, for iPhone or a phone. Both have true tone displays and wide color displays. Both have haptic touch, but the difference is iPhone 14 has 800 nits of max brightness, while the iPhone 12 has 625 nits of max brightness. And at HDR, they both have 1200 nits of peak brightness. The size and the weight of the phones are also pretty similar. The iPhone 14 is 146.7 millimeters, same as the iPhone 12 in height. Both are 71.5 millimeters wide, and but the iPhone 14 is slightly deeper with a 7.8 millimeter depth, while the iPhone 12 has 7.4 millimeters of depth. The weight of the phones are also pretty similar, but the iPhone 14 is slightly heavier with 172 grams compared to the iPhone 12, which has 164 grams of weight. And yeah, and the iPhone 14 also has cinematic mode for recording videos with shallow depth of field up to 4K HDR at 30 FPS, and the iPhone 12 does not have that. Otherwise, the cameras are pretty similar. The iPhone 14 also has action mode, which the iPhone 12 doesn't. Otherwise, the cameras are very similar, almost the exact same. Okay, let's start talking prices of the phones too while we're at it. The iPhone 12, depending on what size you want, starts at $599, while the iPhone 14 starts at $799 for the smallest gigabyte version. I personally have a 128 gigabyte phone right here, and yeah, I love it. It's great, it works great. So let's talk about if it's worth buying the iPhone 14 versus the iPhone 12. What I think, the upgrades are too low for me personally. If I didn't have this iPhone 12, I would go and buy an iPhone 12 and not an iPhone 14, because it's cheaper and almost as good. It's not that many changes that would get me to buy the iPhone 14 over the iPhone 12. But if we look at the 14 Pro instead of the 14 regular, I would go and buy the 14 Pro, because the 14 Pro has much better cameras and a faster bionic shape, and it just has better battery life overall. So it's better than iPhone 14 Pro. So if you don't have a phone, I think you should buy the iPhone 12. But if you already have like an old iPhone, maybe then you want to upgrade to iPhone 14 because you feel like you want a bigger, better phone. Or if you are into the Apple ecosystem, maybe you like iPhones really much, then you should probably go and get the iPhone 14 because it's newer and better. But the iPhone 12 is a little bit cheaper, so I would personally recommend the iPhone 12 to buy. But you can go and get whatever phone you want. But yeah, my personal opinion is that you should go and get the iPhone 12 because it's cheaper and almost as good. Yeah, slightly worse in some of the cameras and slightly slower. But yeah, thank you for watching this video. Hope it was helpful, and hope I see you in the next one. And please subscribe if you haven't already, and thumbs up the video. And see you in the next one. Bye.